Welcome back, friends, to Tiny Town Trains TV. T4 here. And welcome aboard the T4 Rambler. Well, today we're going to drive two spikes with one swing of the mallet, as they say. First, we're going to look at this Menards track. We're going to look at all the different track that Menards has available on Menards.com. Next, we're going to go ahead and make these track insulators. I'm going to show you how to do that. Doesn't take any special tools, and it's real easy to do, very inexpensive. All right? Let's get into the track. First, there's the 10-inch straight single for $1.99. If you buy them in a 24-pack, they're only $37.99, which is $1.59 each. Now, there's also the 30-inch straight track in the single for $4.99, and it's a 24-pack for $69.99. That's only $2.92 each. Then there's 6 kinds of curve track. First is the 031, the old standard, for $2.99. 24-pack is $44.99. That's only $1.88 each. Now, this is before tax, rebate, and shipping, okay? The next one is an 036 curve for $2.99 a piece, or if you buy them in the 24-pack, they're also $44.99 or $1.88 each. Then there's the 42-inch curve single track for $2.99. Their 24-pack is $44.99. They're also just $1.88 each. Same price for the 036, 042, 031. Now, the 054 curve single is $3.49, 24-pack $49.99, $2.09 each. And then there's the 72-inch curve. Single is $3.99, then this 24-pack is $54.99, and that's only $2.30 a piece. And then last is an 096 curve. You got those really big locomotives. $3.99, 24-pack is $59.99, $2.50 each. Now, here's the insulators that I showed you before. What we're going to do is just go through the process of making these. Like I said, there's no special tools. There will be some things that I'll recommend here along the way, and you can decide whether or not it's worth your time to do it or not. But let's go ahead and get into what it's going to take. So I'm going to show you the materials first, and then I'm going to show you some tools, and then we're actually going to go through the process. Now, this right here is Fiskars scissors. You don't have to have hardly anything else. Now, I do recommend that if you're going to do a bunch of these, it's really nice to have an Xacto paper cutter. And I like this one because it has this stop on it. And this stop is really great. It's absolutely invaluable when it comes to making sure you get this thing cut to the right length. Because what you're going to find out is it's very important. And we'll show that kind of as we go along, all right? The next thing we're looking at is what's this thing made out of? It's actually made out of what's called chipboard, all right? Don't confuse this with cardstock. Now, what I'm going to be using is 11 by 17, but there's all different kinds of sizes. And I'm going to put this link down in the description for where you can get these, all right? It's affiliate free, no affiliates. And the other thing you need, the other piece of material, is this regular black electrical tape, okay? Nothing special, just electrical tape. And then you mark this thing at 3/4-inch intervals with a pencil, all right? I marked the long edge because it's easier to cut it that way with the Xacto, okay? And then I'm marking the other end down here, as you can see. Now, these little insulators, like Lionel or Menards track insulators, are 3/4-inch by 3/4-inch. So they're square. So that's a 3/4-inch mark there. And so it's real simple to do. And so we're going to take the paper cutter. And that's the reason I marked these little pencil marks on here, because it's a little easier to do. You just make sure that your mark is where you want it on both ends. Make sure that it's flat against there, okay? And then you want to make sure the mark up there is at the edge. And then you want to make sure the mark down there is at the edge. And then just hold her steady and come down with the guillotine, all right? Just be really careful. Always safety first. Remember, these things are sharp. So don't go as fast as I'm going here because I kind of sped this thing up just so we can kind of get through it. But otherwise, you might lose a finger, and we don't want that. Just always look down before you cut, all right? And there you go. There's a bunch of strips. They're 3/4 inches wide, and they're as long as whatever length of paper that you got. Now, what I'm showing you right here is a bundle of wood strips. Basswood. Don't confuse it with balsa wood. This is basswood. It comes from SIG Manufacturing. They make aircraft wood for making model aircrafts. So it's very precise stuff. But they also have these seconds. And they sell this stuff really cheap. And I buy this stuff by the bundle, as you can see. About $3 for a bundle, plus the shipping. And I use it to make all kinds of things. Here, what I've done is I've made a crimping jig. Now, you don't have to have a crimping jig. You can take a piece of rail or anything that's right at 1/4 of an inch wide, and you can crimp your strips, the ones I just cut, so that you can use them to then cut into 3/4 inch squares. So all I did was I just made this thing out of wood, and you can see I got the little strips there, and I used some little tacks there to hold those things down. They're little brads that you get from like Walmart or anywhere. You use those to like hang pictures or do frames or whatever. And so it works very, very simply. I'll show you here in just a second. Now, that lifts out, and then what you can do is you put this little strip in here, and I made it so it's just wide enough for one of these 3/4 inch wide strips. And I made it longer in case I use longer paper, but I generally have been using 11 by 17, okay? And so you just place it in there like that, and then I just take my little crimper here. Now, you could fold that up manually yourself, but all I have to do, because I've done a lot of these, I've made thousands of these for the layout, because it's a big layout. I need a lot of them. I just push that down firmly like that, and then what you can do is you can just peel it out, and let me kind of show that to you a little closer here. You can see that it's now bent in two places. So there's really kind of three folds, right? There's the sides on either side of the rail, and then there's where the rail sits. And it's about 1/4 inch on each side, and then 1/4 inch for the rail. The rail's just a tad thicker, but you don't have to worry about that. It'll bend around the rail and conform to it. It just makes it easier when you crimp it. Then I took another 2x4 and a couple of these basswood strips, and I made this other jig right here, and this is really kind of cool. You don't have to have this either, but it comes in really handy. And see, again, I'm just showing you right there that it's, 3/4 inches wide, so it holds that strip. But what you're going to do is I'm going to pull that out, and I'm going to show you how you can laminate these 3/4 inch strips, because to make them really top-notch insulators, you not only need the thickness and the insulated quality of the chipboard, but we're going to use this electrical tape. So what I'm doing is I'm putting the sticky side up, and I'm just pulling a strip out there. Now, don't stretch this thing tight. You're just going to open the roll up, and you're just going to lay the strip in there nice and easy, okay? Because you don't want tension on that electrical tape. You want it to lay in there nice and easy. And then I'm putting the bowed side down, the cupped side down, all right? And then you just press like that. And it's real, real simple. You're just laminating it. Now, it's really nice. Electrical tape doesn't stick to a lot of things. It's really gummy and sticky, but somehow it doesn't stick to stuff. But it will stick beautifully to the rough, porous surface of this chipboard. So then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to trim it here and show it to you. Here they are laminated. Now, what I'm showing you right here is I just picked up any old roll of tape to do the demonstration. This is the one you really want, because this is duct tape. And I put the link for that down there too, because this duct tape is matte finish. That other was kind of glossy, and so you don't really want to use that. I mean, it'll work, but it won't look as nice, I think. That's just my opinion. I like the matte finish. So now what I'm going to do is I've got all these laminated, and what I'm going to do is I've taken some just painter's tape, and I've marked 3/4 inch sections on here to make sure, and I've positioned the tape so when I put the strip in there and put it flush, it's going to cut it off 3/4 inches at a time. And now here's where this stop comes really handy, okay? You just put it in here and you line it up with the first mark. Now again, I'm going to put these strips cup side down or bow side down. I think it cuts easier by going through the paper rather than through the tape. And then I put it flush against there, against the side and against the stop. And then I just cut it off, all right? And always be careful with this blade. You don't want it coming down at the wrong time. But anyway, there you go. That's it. That's what the insulator looks like. Now, one of the things I always do is I leave the stop in place and do each strip to cut it off to the next shorter length. All right. So that one's already cut. So I'm not going to do that one again. So I'm just going to lay it aside. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut them all to that same length, however many I'm doing. That way I only have to move the stop once for that length. Okay. And then I just move the stop again and just going to keep on cutting. It's just that simple. And then pretty soon, you've got a big bag of insulators. Now you say, T4, that's a whole lot of work. Well, it's kind of like shucking corn or shelling peas. Hey, sit there and watch your favorite live stream while you're doing this. For example, GFW Trains, or watch Henning's Trains, or maybe watch that Humanity Junction guy. Whatever, but it's a great way to do that. Be sure and stay tuned for updates on Menards' new train stuff for fall-winter 2021-2022. More unboxings and reviews of Menards trains are on the way, so don't miss it. Hey, you made it through this video okay, and who knows, you might decide to do it again someday. So like and subscribe, because it's easier than jumping out of an airplane, and the splat at the end's not nearly so bad. Till next time, keep your train on the tracks, and I'll see you round the next bend. Take care now. T4 out.